G'day, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching G'day Bitcoin, the news with the fast facts. It's game over today. Bitcoin has tumbled by over $6,000 on the weekend in 1 hour. Market liquidity, it's been sucked up. Hong Kong, they are set to launch a whole bunch of ETFs on Monday. Klaus Schwab is in hospital, diving straight into the news on this glorious morning. Over the weekend, Bitcoin Archive breaking. Bitcoin plunges $6,000 in minutes after reports of Iran launching up to 100 drones towards Israel in retaliation for their embassy being bombed by Israel earlier this month. Quick little background about what happened. We won't dive into the politic side too much, but it does look like a little bit of a theater, and my heart goes out to both these countries. But Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies tumble amid Middle East tensions. Bitcoin was down some 8% late on Saturday evening as US officials confirmed the attack was imminent. They were warned 72 hours before, from what data I could gather. The cryptocurrency market suffered heavy selling overnight Saturday amid an unprecedented Iranian drone and missile strike on Israel. Bitcoin had been trading around 70k on Saturday evening, but plunged to below $62,000, $8,000 dip according to data from the Bitstamp exchange. By Sunday morning, it had rebounded to trade back above 64,000. And you can see there in the background, $64,905. Shout out to everyone watching live, watching the replay. If you can smash the like button for us this morning. The sell-off for Bitcoin was the steepest in more than a year, according to Bloomberg. Okay, we'll dive into that, how it's not so bad. But with the coin hitting new records recently amid inflows into the US spot Bitcoin ETFs, which continue to drive the cryptocurrencies price action. In the Middle East, events overnight marked the first instance of a direct attack on Israel from Iranian territory. Israel said it had identified 300 threats of various types and eliminated 99% of those bound for Israeli soil. I'm glad that all stopped. Now, if you were saving in reals instead of Bitcoin over the last 5 years, you are up you've saved 99.11% of your purchasing power. We've got a few more of these charts to get into later or very shortly. The reason why I bring it up is, yes, there's a little bit of volatility. We're at 64,902. We have been talking about $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 days to the down and to the upside. Not unexpected, and it's not unusual, although it is the largest over the last year. Listen to what James Lavish has to say. Bitcoin is the only global liquid asset that trades 24/7 and sometimes pays the price for this during weekends of potential world war. As investors too clever for themselves seek something, anything to sell before markets open again on Monday. Then we have Peter Schiff coming in to add to the conversation here. 60k is critical support for Bitcoin. A decisive break below that level will create a formidable triple top. The immediate downside protection is a move to 20k. At that price, MicroStrategy will have a 2.7 billion unrealized loss on 214,000 Bitcoin acquired an average price of $34,000. 20k in play, absolutely not. If that happens, that would be the greatest opportunity. But over the weekend, while everyone's panicking, this undisclosed nation state, that's the most likely who Mr. 100 is. These people bought 400 Bitcoin in 1 day during this dip, making the most of it. I wouldn't be fading Bitcoin, not a couple of days before the halving. We'll dive into that. It's coming up under 770 blocks away, but the amount of Bitcoin that's been held over the last 5 years has reached an all-time high as well. So while there is new money coming in, it did get sucked out over the weekend coming up to Tax Monday. But check out this chart from Luke Mikic. Luke is a good friend. Now, Bitcoin is not even down 17% from all-time highs, and there's doomers out there selling their Bitcoin and calling the cycle top. Bitcoin had 6 corrections larger than 29%, the 27 bull market. So just to bring this up for a bit of context, up, down, sideways, we will get a whole lot of volatility in the market. It's to be expected, to be prepared for, to make the most of these opportunities when they happen. Otherwise, just DCA. Just buy, stack, and chill. It's the easiest way. And ride out and smooth out these bumps. Bitcoin, in my opinion, is going up and to the right forever, and there's a couple of reasons for that. We'll dive into a price chart, I think, that explains it the best shortly. But before we do that, on Monday, Hong Kong Bitcoin ETFs are to be approved. Hong Kong is a $30.3 trillion market, 10x bigger capital market than the United Kingdom, with a high propensity for risk and growth. This is going to be a remarkable addition to worldwide Bitcoin markets. Everyone is coming for your Bitcoin. Get ready. Before we dive into a couple of the price charts, let's check out the Bitcoin numbers. The block height, 839,232. There's 768 blocks to go until the halving. April 20th, 5 days away at 1:37 p.m. local time. It is 5:39 Australian Eastern Standard Time at the moment. The exchange rate, 64,420 or thereabouts. Sats per USD, 1,553. The Satoshis per dollar, this number here is what you really want to be paying attention to, making the most of it, stacking those sats while they are cheap and chilling. 768 blocks to go until the next halving. It all changes, and it's going to change pretty quickly. If we dive over to the Clark Moody dashboard, you can see we're at a market cap of 1.26 trillion. Coming for gold, but we're only 9.14% of the way there. Clearly that means 10x from here. We are down 13% from the all-time high, which happened on March 14. It's a gift right before the halving. We ran up so high so fast. Make the most of it, because there's so many people that don't yet have Bitcoin. And with wars going everywhere, currency being devalued, CBDCs coming out, maybe it just pays to get a little bit of Bitcoin just in case it catches on, and take full self-custody of it. If you need help with the self-custody, the Bitcoin Way, they've helped me out in my Bitcoin journey. 25 years cybersecurity experience. They've been in the industry for a very long time. These guys are the Bitcoin experts when it comes to allowing you to set up your cold wallet in a way that it never touches the computer. It's air-gapped. Safetina Moose, the author of the Bitcoin Standard, the Bitcoin Way is a service I've always wanted. Setting up a node, being your own bank, learn to verify your Bitcoin transactions on your own node, bypassing third parties. What that means is when you set up a node, no government, institution, entity, corporation, person can stop you sending Bitcoin anywhere you'd like in the entire world. It's pretty neat. It allows you to pretty much stack something like a Swiss bank and have 100% freedom with the wealth that you're storing. They've made it super easy. The first 30 minutes is free. If you are using any type of hardware wallet that's connected to the computer, potentially talk to these guys and make sure you're doing everything right. Your hardware device should never ever connect to anything. It should always be air-gapped as a good start. Now, people being so bearish on Bitcoin over the weekend, like these $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 dips, we've been talking about them for a long time. It's not unusual in the slightest for any reason. We've got this insane bid by Wall Street that's hundreds of millions of dollars flowing in to the ETF each day. Even though on Friday we have had a negative day, the week was still positive, and it hasn't slowed down at all. If anything, it's heated up. When the market's open, could we see further downside? Potentially. I'm not trying to time it here. I'm just trying to get as much of this as I can. It's the world's scarcest asset. Over time, it protects your freedom, your sovereignty. When there are things like wars, conflicts going on, if you need to escape the country, if you just need to hold an asset that no government entity can take away from you or debase, people are waking up to the fact, but it has to be in cold storage. But the daily net Bitcoin ETF flows, it's absolutely insane. Everywhere around the world, their currencies are being debased at such a huge rate. It really does pay. Like this chart here, this is why we Bitcoin. Short term, it could be real volatile. I get that. I don't care. This is what we're protecting ourselves against. This is what inflation does, hyperinflation in some places. This is already in your country. Wherever you are in the world is already experiencing this with your currency. So when you're saving in Bitcoin, over time, your purchasing power goes up. You're storing that economic energy for the long term. And people dunk on Bitcoin. Say you can't zoom out. Well, actually, you should be zooming out and having a look and having a 4-10 year time frame, not just overnight. But all these countries have benefited greatly from holding Bitcoin. And so has anyone else that's held it for 4 years, or not even that really, over the last time, unless you bought the all-time high. But every 4 years, it's all good. Bitcoin falls 8%, drops below 62K before a rebound. So Bitcoin and the broader cryptocurrency market fell by nearly 10% on Saturday, with the price of the largest digital asset briefly falling below 62,000 before recovering to around 64,000 as of press time, 64,900 at the minute. The immediate cause of Saturday's market decline was not clear, though former BitMEX CEO Arthur Hayes wrote in a blog post last week, dollar liquidity would drop right before tax payments are due in the US on April 15th. This coming Monday, lower liquidity would lead to lower prices, he said. The declines also came as Iran launched drone and missile strikes against Israel in what the Iranian government said was retaliation for an airstrike on its consulate in Damascus, Syria, that it attributed to Israel. Crypto market price began to recover after the X account associated with Iran's permanent mission to the United States said the matter can be deemed concluded, though it warned of considerably more severe attack should the Israeli regime make another mistake. What world do we live in when 1984 in the book War is Peace, that party line, the world is literally at war. There's not peace, but they keep putting out this party line, and they're making us believe that people are at peace. The whole world's in a conflict in one way or another. How long you can buy Bitcoin for? Maybe you can buy it forever, but because it's so scarce, it's going up forever. You can literally protect yourself and your future's self and your future's future. It's not a game. This is serious. Like, this is your life, and you have this opportunity to be able to do it. That's the way that I think about Bitcoin. If they're not going to stop money printing, we're in a debt spiral. Everything that's going on, like the IMF trying to control El Salvador, they're reportedly demanding changes to El Salvador's Bitcoin law for a $1.4 billion aid. They're absolutely scared. They don't want people, countries to be sovereign. They want control. But with Bitcoin, you get control and you still have hope. Now, a little bit more news on El Salvador. I really like Bukele here. El Salvador launched tokenized debt to build a new airport hotel. Let me have a quick sip of water. Shout out to everyone that is watching live. We will dive in for a bit of a banter. If you wouldn't mind smashing the like button and hitting subscribe if we vibe. Greatly appreciated. Now, the 80-room Hampton by Hilton will offer pools, restaurants, and more. Bitfinex Securities, El Salvador's first digital asset securities law regulatory entity, will lead the project. El Salvador is really going places. I haven't been over there, but hearing all the reports back from the Bitcoin halving party that took place last week, everyone absolutely loved the place. Like everywhere, there's good and bad in every country. I guess if you're on as an individual on a Bitcoin standard, it gets better. As a country adopts a Bitcoin standard, it gets better for each individual. That's the way I see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like Bitcoin sort of has that effect over time. Clearly noticed it in my own life. Just in, Bitcoin mining is winning. And you just literally can't stop an idea that's come. So anyone that's being shaken out now, make the most of these opportunities. They don't last long. Like, people are scared that Bitcoin's price is about $65,000. One Bitcoin is $65,000. That's a huge amount of money for nearly everyone on the planet. Like, to just go out and buy one Bitcoin, that's pretty hard for them to have that liquid. The cheaper it is, the more people can get the most amount of Satoshis as possible. And if people can just scramble to get as many Satoshis, the world's hardest asset, as possible, while it's cheap, because it is going to continue to go up. Like, I think this is, like, the lower we can stay for the longer, it allows everyone to be able to get as much as possible that's awake and aware. I'd rather that. I'm not selling it, so I'd rather it stayed down and more people could find the life raft. Because I feel like time's running out, and there'll be the people with the haves and the have-nots, and hopefully the people with the haves help the have-nots, but it'll be their choice because it'll be their money. Now, Paraguay Senate approves resolution to sell energy surplus to Bitcoin miners, criticizes sale of energy to Brazil for 25% of what Bitcoin mining companies generate, directs this energy to 20 new Bitcoin mining companies instead. This is game theory playing out literally at a nation state level. This is very exciting. Now, I hope Brazil does not suffer from the lack of cheap energy. That's one drawback, potential drawback of that, and it's Paraguay's energy, so they're free to choose to do whatever. And the best thing in the world to do is mine Bitcoin, mine the world's hardest money, and back up the grid. It's incredible how well Bitcoin was designed to incentivize people through greed, because people are intrinsically greedy, to protect the network, to look after the network, and they're paid for it. So we'll see how the story develops over time. Now, clearly I don't like this guy. I think he's the most evil person in the entire planet, Klaus Schwab. I don't wish ill on anyone, but I would like to see the effect that Klaus Schwab is trying to put out over the world removed. I think it's pretty insidious. This guy literally wants you to eat the bugs. I've got a bit of a pushback for that. When you read the Bitcoin books, you won't eat the bugs. You don't need to eat the bugs because you're not a little slave to their system. But taking away my tinfoil hat or my hate for him, because that's what it is. This guy is really here trying to control and enslave the population, in my opinion. There is hope. There is Bitcoin on a Bitcoin standard. Things ultimately get better. Obviously, there's other things that you need to do, but anyway, Klaus Schwab, let's just stick to the facts. Founder of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, 86, has reportedly been hospitalized. Further details surrounding his hospitalization remain unconfirmed at this time. Even if he was to go, I don't know what he's in there for, but even if he was to go, they've penetrated the cabinet as, according to Klaus Schwab himself, the agenda going on, yes, maybe it sounds a little bit tinfoil-y hat. The facts, they're debasing the money. There's food shortages worldwide. There should be neither of these things. 15-minute cities. They literally want you to read the books. I want you to read the books so you don't need to eat the bugs. They want you to eat the bugs. You can opt out, just buy Bitcoin. Don't, like, it's a vote against this parasitic system that these people have going on. It's absolutely horrible. And shout out to everyone that is watching live and watching the replay. You're all legends. You're doing the right thing. You're setting yourself up for the future. And we'll go back to this chart. We have the chart. For me, I get excited. Let me know if anyone in the chat, and be honest if you can, while we're live or in the comments, do you fear this, like the red button? It took me so long to get used to buying on the red button, like smashing buy, that every time I see it now, I get excited and I feel hope, because more people can get Bitcoin at a cheaper price. I can get Bitcoin at a cheaper price. You can get Bitcoin at a cheaper price. If your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your grandparents, your friends, your boss, your colleagues, your co-workers have not bought Bitcoin, this is a fantastic opportunity for everyone, because everyone, in my opinion, will need Bitcoin just in case. Just in case. And we've seen it in many countries where they bought Bitcoin just in case, and they're good. They saved themselves. And if the worst doesn't play out, it still gets better. It's number go up technology. But let us know if you get freaked out when we come down a little bit, like, or you're prepared for those $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 days. So 24-hour range, 67,214 was the high, 61,614 is the low. About a $6,000 difference, 5,700 thereabouts in the last 24 hours. Nothing, just another day. In the last 72 days, we got a $10,000 candle down. It happened. Absolutely. Oh, not even quite. Not quite. $72,325 was the high in the last 7 days. 62,697. That's that didn't look good. This number here, nearly $10,000. We haven't been able to do it yet. It's going to happen. Get excited. Get ready for them. The $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 days to the downside. We need to go down to go up. The likes of Peter Schiff here, wherever he is, maybe it drops to 20K. Highly unlikely. Who knows what Block Spawn event? But if you get, and I'm not saying everything he says, he's just trolling, he's engagement farming. But when in doubt, just zoom out. Bitcoin, it's just math. It's the world's hardest asset. Get as much as you can. And like, just my message, buy, stack, and chill. And just zoom out, hold it forever. It doesn't need to be more complicated. Daily volatility, great, fantastic. It gives us an opportunity to be able to buy. That's all I think about. Sorry, it's all that's on my mind this morning is just to buy Bitcoin, to smash the buy button. Now, going into a little bit of the Bitcoin culture, what's happening, this is pretty cool, really cool. And proof of work to Peter McCormack at Real Bedford. Cameron Winklevoss. Today, Tyler and I, so the Winklevoss twins, Cameron and Tyler, are excited to announce that Winklevoss Cap has made a $4.5 million Bitcoin investment in Real Bedford, becoming co-owners alongside Peter McCormack and creating the first ever football club powered by Bitcoin. Absolutely epic. Why did they do it? Because Peter has a strong why. As a lifelong Bedford resident, bringing a Premier League team to Bedford has been a childhood dream of his. His mission is clear and authentic. Peter has the vision and conviction. Peter is the second-time founder. He's put in the proof of work. He has built what Bitcoin did into the biggest Bitcoin podcast on the planet, and doing so has acquired the skill set and know-how to succeed. We love builders who have been there before and keep coming back for more. They can't imagine doing anything else. Pretty cool. And a lot of people get a lot of pushback, but Peter is all good for the Bitcoin space, in my opinion. I think this is well deserved from the proof of work Peter has continuously put in over the years. Super cool to see. Now, this was absolutely epic. Lawrence Lepard reposting here. Absolutely amazing. We'll play it if you didn't see it over the weekend. Just won the lightweight UFC fight, and this was his winning speech.
I love it, property, and let me tell you something. If you care about your fucking country, read Ludwig von Mises and the 6 lessons of the Austrian Economic School, motherfuckers. I love.
What an absolute legend, hey? He's taken that opportunity to tell people to study Austrian economics, to read the books. This guy knows. You'd think he was a bit of a thug being in the UFC. He's telling people to read the books, otherwise they're going to end up eating the bugs. Just a real quick recap. Last year, on Friday, there was 55.1 million of outflows. GBTC divested 2,048 Bitcoin during market volatility. It happens, and they've got about 300,000 Bitcoin left. Are they going to let it all flow out? It's a possibility, but they can't let any more flow out than what they have. But eventually, at some stage, that is going to stop. Even though Friday was a negative day, the rest of the week was positive, and it's been positive for the last 3 months. So I can understand we focus in on the fear. Please get used to this. We're going to have major ones. Like, this was nothing over the weekend. When, say, it goes to 200,000, falls down to 120,000, that will be a lot of people's net worth tied up in huge fluctuations. Maybe it's 6, 7, 8 figures in a day. Maybe it's 3 figures in a day. Whatever it is, these moves, they are coming. They're actually a good thing and they're healthy for the market. We don't want to just go straight up. I just wanted to do that as a PSA. Now, that's the news with the fast facts. If you haven't already, hit subscribe if we vibe. And if you can smash the like button, greatly appreciated. We're going to dive into a little bit of a banter this morning. Shout out to Baseline Benny. G'day, Jake from Flyover USA, mate. Wealth Ranger, World War III is imminent. Black Monday, crypto and all markets will crash by design. Be interesting to see what happens when the markets open. And World War III, like the world's at war. How's it not a world war? The corporations funding both sides, the global elite profiting from companies like Bowen and Raytheon. It's absolutely sick, funding both sides to be able to make money. That's the way I see it. It's Mike. G'day, Sean. Crazy times. Gargoyle. G'day, Gargoyle. And Mike, I 100% agree. It is crazy times. Do something, do anything. Hit the like button. Damn it. Orange Pill Dispenser. G'day, Legends. OPD. About Wednesday, I should be able to get back to you. It's been hectic, just so you know. Mike, Shifty Pete, like a Bond film villain. Yeah, a bitter old man. And it'd be nice if, like, buy gold. Maybe in the short term, it's not a bad option to buy gold. And the reason I'm saying this is gold bugs dunk on Bitcoin so much. I believe the gold bugs got it so right until Bitcoin came along. So instead of dunking on them, if people want to buy gold, buy a little bit of gold and sell the gold and use that in person and store your Bitcoin long term. You can use Bitcoin as, instead of holding US dollars or AUD, the Pacific peso, hold a little bit of gold as well, maybe 2 or 3 month supply just in case it catches on. Now, me personally, I don't hold gold. I've got what, 5 ounces of silver from mementos from my papa, you know, and granddad, and it's just a shiny rock. It's a memento of a life well lived. But apart from that, Bitcoin's superior in all ways. Like, yes, we saw it over the weekend. It was volatile. We've had $10,000 down count, or almost. We didn't quite make it. I'm a little bit disappointed about that. In Australia, we had it, which, I don't know, sort of counts. I'm trying to justify looking for the $10,000 down candle just so I can get excited about it, because I know they're coming. And we had a $10,000 up candle in Australia, what, 3-4 weeks ago? Maybe a little bit longer. I don't know, but they happen. But gold, I don't know, it works well over history in the last 4,000 years, but it's just not as versatile. So anyway, like, if people want to buy gold, let them buy gold. But Peter Schiff dunking on Bitcoin all the time, it's misleading, it's deceptive, and I don't think that helps the human race. I feel like we're at World War III already, and how you're meant to escape if you need to, wherever you are in the world, just in case. Maybe you just need to move states over the weekend because there's a little bit of civil unrest. Whole lot easier to have a cold wallet or 24 words in your head, carry around your net worth, whatever that is, in gold. I think it's imperative anyway. Crypto Gator, hi guys. Why does Peter keep talking about Bitcoin? If you don't want it, Peter, then let it be, because it's great and it pushes all his tweets. All his Bitcoin tweets are his most viewed tweets. Buy, stack, and chill. Wonder if Pete would buy the 20K dip. Nope. Imagine if it happened though. It'd be so good. I doubt it, but it'd be absolutely incredible. I don't rule anything out, and I really don't care. Red day, green day, buy, stack, chill. It's super easy. Elaine Lowell, g'day Sean. Bitcoin up and to the right. Tony Love, g'day peeps. Gargoyle, I think he's saying Trezor, like, stay away from it because it's not air gapped. Let us know. And they are open source. They're not Bitcoin only, so I don't like them. They're plugged into your computer and they leak people's data. Ledger or Trezor, if you're using them and you're scared or you need a little bit of help going to something else, maybe reach out to the Bitcoin Way. I don't like him, and I don't want to be with Trezor that censors transactions. If they can do it for some, they can do it for all. Why give yourself that risk? It doesn't make any sense to me. Shinehead, world leaders, aka megalomaniacs, make the world an oppressive place for us humble plebs, but this human pleb had to stack because it's a response to those wanting to grab all the power. Absolutely, and those holding Bitcoin, I think that's why they're so afraid as well, is it gives power back to the people that are holding it. He who controls money controls the world. Well, nobody controls Bitcoin, but you control your own Bitcoin. I'll take that deal any day. When the financial cabal blows up the fiat system, they usually start a world war, fabricated another disaster on top of that pandemic, and be sure they come up on top in the next cycle. Darth Maul and Wealth Ranger. I agree. They're already warning us about cybersecurity cyber attacks, so they're training for them. Telstra, Optus, our mobile phone service providers, they've gone down. Both times I've said this is a test. There's so many people plugged into the smart grids. What if they just shut it down? They've got solar panels on there, but if it shuts down, if the main grid shuts down, the solar panels don't power their house. Like, it's absolutely crazy, and these things are absolutely everywhere. CBDCs come out, or maybe they just debase the money. It's like it's an effort to make things harder for everyone. And maybe that's tinfoil hat, but it seems that way and it looks that way. And if Bitcoin, even if it looks like it's going the other way, but it's actually doing that, it's helping people out, regardless of what you think, it's probably worth getting a little bit. I think greed would be better described as self-survival instinct. Schwab is just the media face, the psychopathic crazies trying to control the world, easily replaced, maybe with a friendlier face that's just as diabolical, 100%. A caster. My butte buy occurs every day when I take the $15 worth and I would consume daily in cigarettes is now spent instead of Bitcoin, instead of price, easiest purchase ever. Caster, well done, that is winning. Politicians should take the Hippocratic oath of do no harm, but their tongue would fall off with the amount of lives they'd be able to say and look you blank in the face and still do harm. Pretty crazy. Google had in their policies, do no evil, and they took it out. Pretty interesting. Why? It no longer was fit for purpose as their company motto, do no evil. No, we can't have that, guys. What? Because I know they are. A little bit of speculation. Warcoin, g'day Sean, g'day Legends, McLovin in the house. What's your 1, 2, 3? We all know it's math crack on pie. Dave, I bought a gold mining stock Friday. Superior, yes it shows. Hit the goddamn like button, it won't hurt you. Appreciate that, Dave. Get your phrase engraved onto a gold bar. Why not? Or silver, Bitcoin bullion and bullets. Worldwide, Cobweb. Good to see you. Keep throwing the horns. Good acting, McLovin. We had to stop meeting this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. That's news with the fast facts. I won't tie you up, but do something nice for yourself. Do something nice for somebody. Buy, stack, and chill. If you need help, if you are putting your hardware wallet into your computer, if you need help doing something a whole lot better, protecting that generational wealth, the Bitcoin way, it's free for the first 30 minutes. If you don't need it, all good. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you tomorrow. Be blessed. Peace.